Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Story Time. It is, of course, Margarete Miller Collage Assignment Day, and I'm going to be building the collage today. I'm working on week 32, so I'm still a week behind, but that's okay. I'm a lot more comfortable with 1 week behind than I was with 2, so we'll get caught up eventually. So today, the prompts, I am going to tell you a wee story. As you probably aware, we've just had the Olympics 2024 in Paris, France. And coming up at the end of the month is the Paralympics. Well, I'm going to tell you about an Olympic Games that happens at the same time as the regular Olympics, which you're likely never to have heard of before. Are you curious? Yeah, so every 4 years at the same time as the Olympics, there is another set of games held. It's not covered on TV, so you would never have seen coverage of it. Not even the athletes in the regular Olympics even know that it's going on. It's a bit on the down low. We need to change that. So today we're going to tell the story of a team of athletes in this Olympics that happens every 4 years. It is affectionately known as the Bug Games. They use the same flag. Flag is one of our prompts. Now, which way up does it go? That way. They use the same flag because it is an Olympic Games. So I'm going to pop that on. Let's grab glue and pop on our Olympic flag. It was a happy find in one of my children's fact books. It was a picture of the Olympic flag. So we're setting the scene. The background here is polka dots, is blue and yellow polka dots, and it is the symbol, besides the flag, it is the overarching symbol of this particular games, is the dots. And you'll find out very soon why that is. Okay, so these games, they are a little unusual. We do have to say they are a little unusual. They have different events, very unusual events. So one of the events involves a piano. So I'm just going to kind of trim this down a little bit. The photo of it comes from unsplash.com, and the photo is by Melissa Edwards. So Unsplash, if you're not familiar with it, is a site where you can download free photographs. So that's what I did because I needed a rather large piano. And this is for our prompt, an instrument with keys. And I just love this piano. It's old, it's deteriorating, it's grimy and grotty and unloved, unkempt, but it is super cool. So I'm just looking at where I want to, so I'll get to this one in a minute. We're just going to put the piano down. So one of the events involves a piano, and the event is called Play Me a Tune. And the object of the exercise is to walk across the keys and try to make the best tune the team can. And it's an individual sport. So this is an event that has already had its medal ceremony. And the winner is going to be stood on top of the piano for the medal ceremony. And I must say that this particular event, it's usually not a great event. There's often no real clear winner because it's very hard for them to make a tune on a piano. But our oops, that needs to go down a bit, otherwise we haven't got room for our competitor on top. Our competitor was a bit clever, and I reckon they'll introduce new rules in the next 4 years, so that the way this competitor won will no longer be an option, because, it was a bit sneaky, a bit, dare I say it, cheaty, a bit on the cheaty side. It's like an athlete taking performance enhancement drugs. It's not the done thing, but there were no rules against it. So this competitor, I'm just going to grab my glue and glue him on. He wore hobnail boots. That was his little sneaky trick to get some sound out of the piano, because usually there's no sounds coming forth from the piano in this event. But he thought, well, what if I wore hobnail boots and stomp as loudly or as heavily as I can on the keys? Maybe I might make a sound. And he did. The sound of hobnail boots hitting a hard surface. Wouldn't exactly call it a tune, but it was a sound, and that's better than they have had in previous games. So there's our gold medalist for the Play Me a Tune event in this Olympics, in this Bug Olympics. Now, the next event on the schedule is the Don't Leave a Trace event. And this involves a cake. So this prompt is a cake or dessert, and I'm using an image that is both a cake and a dessert. It's a cheesecake, and it looks like a mighty yummy cheesecake, I must say. So this event takes place at a time when the regular human Olympics is happening, and they find a cake that's left unguarded, and they've got to engage their sneaky side. They've got to do this without being seen or noticed, so it's leave no trace. And they've got to nibble at a cake until they're full without leaving any signs that they've been there. So no holes, no crumbs, nothing. Leave it as pristine as the humans think it is. So here's our event. Here's our venue for our event, is this beautiful looking cheesecake. Looks like it might be a chocolate, looks like it's got Oreos in it, like a dark chocolate biscuit with a cream center. So I would say that's an Oreo cheesecake. Doesn't that sound yummy? And we have 3 competitors in this event. So they're taking their position on the field, which is the cake. Oops, I just realized I glued the cake all the way down, and I meant to leave a space for the prompt list. Oh well. So this little competitor is here. That's his spot. Can I? No, I'm not going to be able to prize that up, so I'll just have to do something else with the prompt list. I just got caught up in my story. So this wee competitor, they're very hard to tell these competitors apart too. It's like this one's going on this little wedge here. That's her spot to leave no trace. And then this one is going to go on the other side. So, you know, I think we should work on honouring these ladybugs in their every 4 years they play these Olympic Games. Like, they deserve coverage. They deserve honour for their wins that they train hard for. So our wee ladybug friends here are poised, ready to leave no trace as they nibble away on this cake. Oh, sounds like a great event, doesn't it? Who wouldn't want to have an event where you get to eat cake and try not to give any sign that you've eaten cake? Sounds fun. So our ladybugs are our prompt for a flying insect. Polka dots, flying insect, instrument with keys, a flag, and the bonus is a piece of ribbon. So, you know, when they're competing, they get a prize, just like our human athletes get a medal. These little guys get a little ribbon to pin on, well, pin or hang around their necks probably. Now, I've enlarged it because they're really tiny. Ladybirds aren't very big. So I've made a bigger version so that we can see it, because otherwise you just wouldn't see it. So I'm going to use my fabric glue to glue it into a little loop. Oh, my fingers are so cold. It's really cold this morning. don't know why. I don't know that there was a frost. Now that's the opposite way to what I had it, this way. So just going to try and put a little dot of glue under there where they cross. It's probably a big dot of glue. And then I also want to flatten down that loop at the top because I want it flat in my book. My book, which is getting quite bulky, and we've still got a ways to go for the year. Right, so I'm just going to flatten out that top bit and getting glue everywhere, including all over my fingers. I don't really mind if it shows or not on the front. I just want it to lie flat. Okay, and glue there and a bit on there. I haven't pushed it flat yet because my fingers were getting too gluey. And that's the ribbon for our little piano playing ladybird winner. So that's going to be looped around. Obviously not that big. That's just enlarged so we can actually see it. Because if we did it in real life, it would be so tiny we wouldn't even see the ribbon. Cleaning up my glue nozzle there and my fingers. I'm going to have to wash my hands after this. Okay, so all we have left to pop on is our wee prompt list. So maybe we'll just kind of... This background polka dot is a page from a flow book for paper lovers, and it's actually an envelope. So on the other side it's got the envelope template, and that's where you'd put the address. I think I'll just pop it down there. Anywhere's good. I thought about covering that label, but then it's like too bunchy at that point. So I'll just put it in its own wee spot. So there is the tale of the Bug Games, the Olympic Games for ladybirds, held every 4 years at the same time as the Human Olympics. And 2 of the events, so this one's finished, this one's just getting underway in this story. Obviously the Olympics is finished, so the Bug Games has also finished for this this period. But we're just taking a snippet of time. The reports from the Ladybird reporters who did actually cover the games, the Bug Games. Okay, that's it. It's quite quick. I hope you enjoyed the story with this one. Just a bit of whimsy, isn't it? Just a fun bit of whimsy. I enjoyed coming up with this story. When I originally saw the prompts, it was like, I have no clue. No clue. And that's so often the case. I look at them and go, I can't get a story out of that. And then before you know it, it's like, oh, what about this and this? And then the challenge is to actually find the bits that go with the story I've invented around the prompts. And so it goes through a bit of a transition between the 2 points as I find things and go, well, if I change this detail in my story, I can make this still work. This is fairly close to what I originally came up with, but not quite. So there we go, guys. Another week down in Margarete Miller Challenge. Have a great weekend. Take care, and I'll catch you again on Monday. Bye for now.